please.
Would you like what?
No, I'll be burping. Travis could get away with that.
I'm playing Dub Conscious in the background. Adrian Zelski, HGH Seed Company, International Hemp Exchange. Come on our show, Adrian. Thanks for not suing us. Live from the Mighty Veedverks Airship, I'm Travis Lippert, CEO of Verks Unlimited Limited, better known as Veedverks.
And I'm Julie Richardson, Director of Commercialization and Promotions. And today we have with us Susan Squibb with Mother's High Tea. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the event of the year and something many of us in the cannabis community look forward to. And tell everybody, if you want to get involved and meet who's the movers and shakers, you gotta go to Mother's High Tea.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me on the airship. Never been on an airship before.
There you go.
Got my seatbelt on.
So tell us, what started Mother's High Tea?
Well, Mother's High Tea started in 2011. That was the first year. And it really was there was a need for women's events. There wasn't really anything consistent happening. There were women's groups, but there wasn't a clear focus. There wasn't a consistent event. And I had a personal need to create this event. That my mother had ovarian cancer and she passed away and in the fall of 2010. So I needed something to really focus my energy and kind of renew and reinvigorate what just the thoughts about mother and Mother's Day, and just to create an event that honors women. So that was sort of the personal reason, and then the community reason for starting Mother's High Tea.
Right. And you've done a fabulous job. I didn't get here until 2015, so I haven't been to all of them. But I've been to every one since 2015. I haven't missed it. And it really is, it does fill a huge need. The women, this is a chance for us to put on our prettiest dresses. We all wear hats. In a few minutes, maybe we can pull up some old pictures. We have pictures of Mother's High Tea all over Veedverks or in our bathrooms for people to see.
That's the fastest way to get old pictures of Mother's High Tea is to go into the bathroom.
Grab it.
Cool.
Right.
More.
But I mean, we have them everywhere. I have them all over my home. In each year that I've participated in, I've got like a really good little snapshot. So it's a very enjoyable, no stress day. It's just nothing but a lot of really good energy. Last year was of the Orient. This year is...
The cultural theme is exploring the yerba mate regions of South America.
Now, how did you settle on that one?
Well, really the concept was to, we'd been doing the tea for so many years. This is the 7th one. And we had that British tea party theme down. And like, what's something new? So last year we started with the international tea tour with China. And so we went there and explored the teas of China and some of the food that you would find along the Silk Road trade route. And then this year, it just seemed like South America would be really fun to do. And it's not necessarily what you would consider, a tea kind of dynasty, but it has a very influential, role in the history of tea and also in, just the global tea markets. So we're going to South America. So we're exploring the areas, the Rio de la Plata, which is like South America. So that's part of Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay. So that's where we're going.
Right.
Is that region on fire right now?
No, not that. But on the fringes is more north. Yeah, but we do want to have some news and updates and awareness raising about the fires in the rainforest. Yeah.
Well, are you going to be doing anything like with the culture from there and how this is such a huge part of their economy because of the mountains being such a perfect growing environment for some of these teas?
Yeah, I mean, we'll explore it. Encore Catering and culinary services will be sort of bringing to life the teas and also the flavors of the region, and it'll be really fun. We'll have a sensory table as one of the activities that we have, so everyone can explore the different kind of terpene profiles and some teas and culinary herbs, and it'll be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know everything was so lovely last year. They had some really interesting hors d'oeuvres. And you did a spectacular job with making everything, just fit. And it was a very nice experience.
Oh, great. Well, I can't do it alone.
Oh,
We've got an amazing volunteer committee.
Yes,
that,
you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that assists and helps bring it to life, and we couldn't do it without volunteers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I feel really sad. One of the best parts of the event is helping get it together and being one of the volunteers and going and helping do gift bags, and not this year. So I drop things a lot. So I won't be participating unless you want me just to stand there and cheerlead and hey, you forgot something. I see that.
Faster.
So who do you have coming?
Well,
the speakers.
Yeah, our speakers this year. So the speaker theme is personal wellness and community wellness, and so the speakers will be addressing kind of those topics, more like their personal wellness and maybe share some of the struggles that they've had personally and how they've overcome them, and then also their roles. Within the Denver community and how they participate in, the wellness of the community. So our keynote speaker is Jessica Peck. She is an attorney, and she actually, over a decade ago, she was a really significant figure in founding some of these really early marijuana groups.
Nice.
So she founded Moms for Marijuana, and then this other organization called an acronym is Go Camp, which stands for Guarding Our Children Against Marijuana Prohibition. Go Camp.
I love that.
And so Jessica Peck was really very outspoken over a decade ago about, the reforming marijuana laws to more sensible policies, and then also really bringing up the topic of children within that conversation of marijuana reform and how that actually, children are better protected with legalization and with marijuana reform. So kind of currently, Jessica's experience is as in a family law practice. So she's a trial lawyer, and so she often she represents families and kids in crisis. And this year she was appointed to Governor Polis. He has a mental health task force. It's the Colorado Behavioral Health Task Force. And so Jessica Peck is on the subcommittee on children's behavioral health. And so she'll be speaking about her experience, helping on a state level with forming and reforming, some of these issues of behavioral health and mental health facilities with that perspective with children.
Right. Well, that's wonderful because we know a lot of the drugs that children are given for epilepsy and autism cause personality issues where they rage and they harm themselves or suicidal tendencies. So it's great that we have somebody with such a background that's addressing these issues too, because that's a lot of the problem is that's a side effect of pharmaceutical.
Yeah, and we also have a really amazing speaker, Dr. Lisa Calderon. That name might sound familiar to many because she ran for mayor of Denver, and but currently she is the chief of staff for Candy C.D. Baca, who is she is a Denver City Council District 9 council member. And so Lisa Calderon, she was born and raised in Denver, and not only is she a doctor, as her name indicates, she also has a law degree, a master's degree, and of course bachelor's degree. She was a college professor for 15 years. She taught women's studies, ethnic studies, sociology, and criminal justice. And she has also spent 30 years in public service around the Denver area. And she used to have oversight over the Denver jail reintegration program. So providing kind of opportunities and making sure people that are finished with their jail sentence have resources they need in order to kind of reestablish and be successful, after they've served time. So I think she's got an amazing amount of community service. It'll be really good to hear her perspective on, the topic of personal wellness and community wellness.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed her campaign.
Mm-hmm.
She ran a really good campaign.
Yeah.
And got to hear her speak a few times. So this is going to be awesome to hear her speak again, and maybe get to socialize a little bit with her this time.
So those are our two main speakers, Jessica Pack and Dr. Calderon.
Now that's two speakers. Did you normally have more than just two before?
Well, sometimes we do. And then also I think that it was a good opportunity to just let them expand a little more. Yeah.
All right. And that's a good idea. There's been so many events that I went to, and it's like the fifth speaker really, or it just went on and on and on and on with the speaker. So two's good. Two is good.
Yeah.
Now, we get asked a lot with Mother's High Tea, is this a cannabis event? Is there consumption? So the answer is, of course.
It's no.
It's
no.
no.
Yeah,
and
no consumption.
And it's very welcome and open to children.
Mm-hmm.
And you've always been like that. What was the inspiration behind making sure that this was a family-friendly event?
The inspiration is to normalize the people that work within the cannabis space, and that with all the regulations, the actual businesses that have licenses, there's children are not allowed, and I mean that kind of makes sense in the terms of you don't want a facility that has marijuana or marijuana production to have like children running around, but it's something where it's just to reduce the stigma, and it provides an opportunity for families, for women, for mothers to bring their children and just have kind of a day where their child can see who are the people that that mom and dad work with, and it's a safe environment. There's no consumption. It's a public event. And it's sort of a take your child to work day for some people.
Right.
It's really important for them, and for their children to see this is what mom does. These are mom's colleagues, and it really helps to break the stigma of what is a professional within the cannabis space.
You have a lot of tea at Mother's High Tea. So is all of it going to come from this Rio de la Plata region?
Yeah, it'll be different kinds of yerba mates and yerba mate blends, and then also some black teas with tropical flavors.
Are those your teacups? Like, what do you do with the teacups when you're not doing Mother's High Tea? Where do those go?
They're stored in quilted boxes.
Yeah, it's such a wide variety of really cool teacups.
Yeah. But that was one of the interesting things because the yerba mate, like traditionally, is drunk. It's a social thing, but it's in a gourd with a straw that it's called a bombilla, and it's something that's shared and passed around. So that's one element that we're trying to incorporate, is to have someone that can lead these little tea sessions. Where it's like a group of friends can sit in chairs and then pass around a yerba mate and drink it the traditional style with the gourd and the bombilla.
And ayahuasca.
No. There will be no ayahuasca.
No ayahuasca at Mother's High Tea.
No. Family friendly. There'll be no
ceremonies.
Yeah. It'll.
But it's an event that you dress up for. That's one of the cool things about it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody dresses up and everybody wears hats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hats and just tea attire and dapper gentlemen. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Travis sported the what's the guy, the cartoon?
Snoopy?
No, not Snoopy. There's some cartoon character, like the Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. But that's like not Elmer
This
Fudd.
is an important important piece of safety equipment when
when you're in the airship.
you're in the airship.
Yeah.
But-
Wintertime.
What about food? What kind of
Food.
Is there going to be some things to pick up and eat there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Encore Catering is on top of that. Then we'll have some past dishes going around. There'll be some something that'll be served in some leaves, like a little
nice.
leaf bowl. And yeah, it's amazing. But it'll all be based on kind of the regions inspired by either like Brazilian cuisine from Argentina, Uruguay, or Paraguay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, day of the event, everybody gets there, and I've been. There's usually some socializing, and then there's an area where you can take your children, and there's a craft area. Are you doing that again this year?
Yeah. Oh, I do want to throw out that it's Friday, September 20th.
Friday, September 20th.
From 1 to 4 at McNichols Building in downtown Denver.
144 West Colfax.
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah. Friday, September 20th.
Last time there were a bunch of bicycles there. It was they were having a bicycle exhibit or something. Do you know if there's going to be a exhibit of some sort?
Yeah, there definitely will be an exhibit. They're going to transition it, so I haven't seen the new art yet. But yeah, I think that big bicycle is outside. Like that's just always there.
I mean the little bicycle.
The little bicycles.
That they had.
Yeah, that was a really cool.
Am I making this up?
Yeah, no, there was a bike exhibit.
I thought it was there were statues out there too. The astronomical signs. I want to say.
Right, yeah.
In the park as well. Everybody was out
the
there
zodiac signs.
The zodiac signs. Yes.
Yeah, but we'll have all these activities. There'll be craft tables. We're working on a couple projects. It's amazing. Karen Kirshner is doing the research and preparing. She used to not only teach science but also teach art.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
So she's a great resource, and hemp advocates will be very familiar with Karen Kirshner. And maybe we'll have rain sticks. It's amazing at how complicated the engineering is to make a really good rain stick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I did that with the boy. I was a Boy Scout leader, and
like out of bamboo or something.
Yeah, and then you have to
or like tubes and just the right. Yeah. So we're still troubleshooting that, but there will be some fun activities for kids. Yeah.
Well, everybody go home and make a rain stick, and then here it is coming into fall. We'll get a bunch of snow maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Snow stick.
Yeah.
Snow stick.
Yeah.
Sort of a rain stick.
Colorado style. I know, that would be a little more quiet.
Yeah.
You
maybe
couldn't hear it. But Cannabis Camera will be there.
Oh,
and
fun.
So we'll have a really great photo booth again. And we have some nonprofit tables. One of our
What nonprofits? Yeah.
So we have, let's see, to continue the wellness theme, we have the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Wonderful.
And so they have a lot of different programs for people. And so they'll be, just talking about the different resources and ways to connect if, if someone wants counseling or services or like support groups and things like that.
Right.
So there's a Denver chapter for NAMI is the short word for National Alliance on Mental Illness. And then also we have from last year. Oh, that's so great.
Oh, fun.
Cannabis Camera.
Yeah.
It's a party, y'all.
And then also Marty Otanyas is a very talented anthropology professor at UCD, University of Colorado, Denver, and he teaches a cannabis cultures class. It's a junior level anthropology class, and he also does a study abroad. And so he class in which they go to Amsterdam and Holland. And so he will be there kind of talking about his work and his studies. He often, likes to develop programs and study employees and workers that are in marijuana businesses for just worker safety. In particular, he's done studies related to trimmers and kind of this concept of the green lung, and kind of just making sure, just keeping tabs on employee safety within the
what
emerging.
Is the green lung?
It's kind of related to kind of chemical exposure and then also like mold issues. And so people that are just breathing in, particularly in grows.
Huh.
And so he kind of used, he previously, in his work, he studied tobacco and tobacco workers in Malawi in East Africa. And so
Everybody studies people in Malawi.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry to get off on a tangent, but there are a ton of sexually transmitted disease studies that are done in Malawi. I don't know. They must have like no regulations about what drug companies can get away with.
Wow.
But it seems like a good place to do research.
Yeah. Well, he
or
studies,
a popular place.
I think he studies the tobacco specifically. And I think that there are, there's like some hemp emerging in Malawi too.
Is
Like,
that the country that's going to come out with like 9 billion pounds of hemp this year?
Let's ask Marty. Let's find out at the tea. But also, Marty, when he did his study abroad this past May, so he met the woman that developed this Dutch Harvest Tea Company. And so he's going to have a few selections, and that will be one of the prizes in the prize drawing that we have this year. So everyone that gets a ticket that comes to the tea, then they get a certain number of entries into our prize drawing. So in addition to all of the fun at the event, you can enter to win
Organic
prizes.
hemp tea with turmeric.
Oh, it's like biodynamic and like sustainable packaging, and it's a woman-owned business. So yeah,
what
we're
else could
excited.
you not just absolutely love about that?
I know. And then we also have, like at the prize drawing, these Women's Guide to Cannabis book. So we've got, I love that cover.
Women's Guide to Cannabis. Who wrote that?
Woman Nikki Fur.
Using marijuana to feel better, look better, sleep better, and get high like a lady.
Yep.
There you go.
We need a book to no. But it's fun. So yeah, so we've got a prize drawing, and then everyone, of course, we have the gift bags too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we have a fun passport activity that everyone they'll get a passport and they go around to the different activities.
Right.
And they get stamps, or they'll have like meet a new friend, and then they get that signed off, and then they get to get all the stamps and then earn their gift bag.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How many people were at the first Mother's High Tea?
The first Mother's High Tea in 2011, there was probably 40 people, which includes the catering staff of the hotel that was coming up to check on the event. So it's probably like 30 people. Yeah.
How many people were there last year?
Last year it was around 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, and it's in a really cool place, and it's just a relaxing afternoon. Is it in the afternoon? What time does it start?
Yeah, 1 to 4. Yeah, so it's a good Friday afternoon event,
On the what date?
Friday,
20th.
September 20th.
Also known as the day where we're going to see them aliens.
Oh,
For
really?
everybody who's waiting to...
Is that the day
you might have
too?
a little bit of slack off in attendance due to attendance at the rating Area 51.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to the Area 51
down.
thing. I'm going to Mother's High Tea.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll provide a pleasant distraction so no one gets in trouble on federal property.
Can't wait to Google what happened while we were at Mother's High Tea.
Well, we were having a dapper time.
Adorned
Oh
with
my
hats.
goodness.
Bring a hat. That's one of the cool
Yes,
things.
yeah.
Yes.
A better hat than this. This isn't a good.
Yeah, that's a little comical.
This is not
Yeah.
what they're going for.
Yeah.
Dapper.
But, if you got the suit and the jacket, then you can pull it off, Travis. You can do it.
Well, I
Yeah.
pulled it off last year.
Yeah.
Pulled it off enough.
You clean up well.
I have to shave. You booked 3 shows this week. I had to keep shaving.
Oh, bless your
Wow.
heart.
Sorry.
They just knew they were shaving compared to, okay.
Oh dear, I have it so hard. Can I
Yes.
tell you, people, real quick that looks like my text has gone away, but hashtag I stand with Ben. If you go to thegreencrayoncampaign.com, you can download number one, you can learn about what we're going to tell you here, but you can download Letterhead and send a green crayon to the superintendent of the Douglas County, Colorado School District, telling him that kids who go to that school district should have access to their cannabis medications.
Right.
And there are individual kids who we know who are being hurt by Douglas County School District's policy of not implementing what we passed at the State House. So hashtag I Stand With Ben, the Green Crayon Campaign, the Green Crayon Campaign.com. Check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
We
talking
also,
about it.
if you can call Governor Polis's office and leave the message, I stand with Ben Juan, is something else that they're doing. And a lot of people don't realize this is even a problem. I know I've spoken to a lot of people like, well, what do you mean they can't have their medicine? They don't realize that the way that law was written, as permissive as it was, that a school board could go, well, it doesn't matter to us, we're not doing it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. If a kid has an allergy, a peanut allergy, they can have a rescue EpiPen at school. And if a kid has epilepsy, they're not allowed to have cannabis-based, safe, effective medication at school right now in Douglas County.
Right.
Or in, as far as I know, any county in Colorado. It's not right. We haven't finished fighting for these kids.
We're not done.
And Ben Juan needs to have Canatol RX at his school in Douglas County, Colorado.
Yes, and this is a nasal spray. And
yeah,
my argument with why it's even more ridiculous is this is a nasal spray. What is allowed is a rescue med that's a suppository. Ben Juan is almost 18, if he's not 18 years old. He's a grown adult person. And when you're seizing, it's hard enough to put a suppository into a little child, not to mention a full-grown adult. Could you do it? Could I do it? I couldn't do it. But they're arguing with us over nasal spray or a surgery level type anesthesia where you have to call 911. It just does no sense at all.
Wow.
You know, if they act like the cannabis medicine's going to jump out and get on somebody's Adderall or something.
It's not right. Fix it, Colorado. Call Governor Polis, leave a voicemail. I stand with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Let these kids take their meds to school. This is not right. It's something that we can correct. And it's something that the governor could do to just instantly help a number of people who need his help.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that we were going to see some changes after Hickenlooper. Like Hickenlooper vetoed the autism bill and hurt a bunch of kids. Polis, when he came into office, after had to go through the legislature again, he signed it. But now we're still not any further in this.
No.
These kids need their rescue meds at school. Cannabis stops epileptic seizures. We've seen it with so many kids. Ben hasn't had a seizure. He's been taking Charlotte's Web for years now, and he hasn't had a seizure since he started taking it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a fast-acting inhaler or a nasal spray.
Right. And
that's all we just let kids take cannabis-based rescue meds and just daily maintenance meds to school. It's what everybody thinks the law is, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not how it's being implemented. It's dangerous. If you have a grand mal seizure, you could lose brain function after just a couple of minutes. And like you have explained, like say there's a school lockout because there was a shooting in Douglas County School District.
Which just happened.
Which causes stress. My kid just had to do a lockdown drill yesterday. That's what he did in like history class, was they practiced hiding in the corner.
Wow.
That's stressful. Stress can cause seizures. Mm-hmm. Seizures can result in brain damage. There is a natural, safe, effective remedy available to these kids and authorized by Colorado law, and they need access to it. So hashtag I stand with Ben, thegreencrancampaign.com. I'm not aware that any traction has been made on this. I think that Ben is still at school. And not just Ben. We say Ben, but we talked about Marley when we did that show.
Her mother was here too.
Yeah. But I just wanted
And
to bring
there's
that
other
up.
families too. But
So,
what
since
are your
I've got
thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's
with your
shocking,
background?
with the just the success of having that bill, because it did seem very just on the cutting edge of addressing a problem, because there were so many families that moved to Colorado for their child to access medical marijuana in a safe environment. And and I noticed that over the years of the tea, there were more women, with children as patients that were coming to the tea because they wanted a sense of community, and and it was amazing at the legislative success that they had, like passing in 2 successive years these bills that gave their child access, but then to have it be revoked and just the opt-out option, and then actually to be like a very hollow victory.
Yeah.
And then the children are still having these struggles just to not to be high. It's to treat a medical condition,
right?
And and then all of the legalities of it is really phenomenal, because you have all these layers of things, and it does get really sensitive with kids. But I think that if the state legislators thought through everything and they unanimously passed these bills, then it should be clear that it's not as controversial as it
right.
as it as it is.
When the bills passed and they were signed into law, I thought that was the marching orders, that okay, now we've got.
Yeah, and that's
we
why
did
we
it,
need to keep talking
we
about
didn't
it.
do it.
We didn't.
It's in practice, that is not how it is working, and there are kids who are at risk of having catastrophic problems at school simply because their medication that they need is cannabis based. We just have to fix that. It is not right, and especially not right in Colorado. We think that we're leaders of this industry, but in this case, this is a wreck. These are kids, and it's just, we have to keep getting loud about it. So share it out. Hashtag I stand with Ben.
Check out their website,
thegreencrancampaign.com, and leave a voicemail for Governor Polis saying I stand with Ben. Sign an executive order that turns the opt-out into just mandatory. You got to do this. You got to let these kids take their emergency meds to school.
And if you don't want to send the green crayon to that superintendent, send it to yours.
Yeah,
because it's every school district, isn't it?
I see Larry Reed on here, Man on Weed, talking about this should be a nationwide thing.
It should.
A lot of these kids are. I know that Ben's lived here; he's a native, but a lot of these kids are refugees, like you were saying, and they shouldn't have had to leave their states in the first place. They should have been able to do this in Kansas, but Kansas is years away. They're in Colorado now. We need to help them. We need to keep getting loud about it. Leave voicemail for Governor Polis. I stand with Ben.
We need to shout out our Be Good people.
Be good.
Be Good. 4 locations. Be Good is our green room sponsor for this month. And so if you are working for our awesome dispensary that would like to have this opportunity, have them get in touch with me. But Be Good, they provide the waters for our guests, and we're going to make sure you get a nice cold one. But it also has a 10% off coupon. They have 4 locations. The one in North Glen is both rec and medical. Which one is just medical is
West Wash Park.
Is also. And then Inglewood and Federal Heights are rec. And
it's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Thank you for sponsoring our green room. Thank you for the awesome bottles of water that we can give to our guests. we also have a ton of Be Good. I think Graydon called them slaps, but it's
That's the
which
new.
must be a new word for sticker. I'm too old, but got some sweet slaps for you to
Sweet
check
slaps.
out. Take some. But thank you to Be Good. It's a great group of people.
Mm-hmm.
They've
Everybody
been around
would-
for a long time.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
had their 10-year anniversary.
Wow, 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time.
But Graydon Washington, Tim Bruce Morgan, solid people,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
like a lot of respect for them. And they grow and sell great cannabis. Or I don't know if they grow it. They have like Llama brand
Yeah.
cannabis, which they put into their pre-rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike many pre-rolls, they're not made from shake or trim. They're made from little buds that are cut off when they're trying to make the big buds prettier.
Mm-hmm.
And those go into the pre-rolls. And it's good stuff. Llama brand. And check out Be Good. They're
Yeah,
good people.
They are
That's
good
what
people.
we're going through a period of industry consolidation right now that I think is I don't know about other hemp businesses, but I suspect that your life is really hectic right now because we have a lot of new players in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of people making any type of hemp CBD product that you used to only know like Flores for
Mm-hmm.
or something like dog biscuits. There's so many dog biscuit companies now
Oh, I know.
that so the bigger ones are eating up the smaller ones, and you get a 10-year chain, now a chain, but a 10-year dispensary business in Colorado that's always, I mean, we see Graydon at Cannabis Clinics in Colorado.
Yep.
They're legit, and I would check them out. And
Patients first.
so major props to Be Good. Thank
Mhm.
you.
So let's summarize a little bit. Kids' tickets are
They are, well, children 4 and under are free, and then children's tickets are $15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then we have also general admission tickets are $35. And then we have VIP tables too.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be VIP table of 10. So you get 10 friends together. You get a VIP table, sit near the front. And we do have some promo codes because the tickets are on AXS.com. So if you just search Mother's High Tea, the little search box, you can get to the ticket site for Mother's High Tea at AXS.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the promo codes for 10% off of the general admission tickets
Mm-hmm.
and the children's tickets, that code is TFriend10. So TFriend and the number 10, all in one, no spaces. And then for the 20%
Wait,
off.
TFriend10?
Yep.
Yes.
TFriend10. And then for 20% off the VIP table, that would be Best Friend 10. Get it? 10 of your best friends. You get a
Yeah.
VIP table.
That's right.
So that's 20% off.
Ooh, I need to go send some messages and find out who has bought their ticket yet. I'll get a VIP ticket. That will be so fun.
But it's really exciting. It's very invigorating, to hear, you're sharing your experience with the tea.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just talking with Nikki at Stillwater.
Oh, yeah.
And so she was telling me that her first day of work 3 some years ago was attending the tea. And I remember her from 3 years ago, and and to see her just really dig in to her job and just really
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the opportunities and learning, and and I mean, she moved here
Right.
to from the East Coast to work in the cannabis space, and it's just, and all of the people that they can, it's an opportunity to meet new people, meet people that they've been Facebook friends with,
Right.
and also see friends that they haven't seen in years, because
Mm-hmm.
We're all so busy.
Right.
And it's just a really nice event to dress up and be around. Just a very pleasant time.
Right.
Have some good food, have some inspiring speakers, make some crafts, learn about different community resources.
show your kids off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some yerba mate out of fancy teacups.
Yep.
Wear
And
some cool hats.
photo booth.
Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, photo booth.
Yeah. Yeah. So come join us.
Yes.
And I noticed Dawn in the comments. She said,
Yeah.
Don Blackman.
Yeah, she was saying earlier that we should invite the aliens to the D.
We should.
Should provide an alternate.
The Radon Area 51.
Yeah.
We have Rachel Ardnoy also chiming in saying she's going to be there.
Oh,
A
sweet.
bunch of people.
Awesome.
We've had a lot of.
Nice.
Larissa Bolivar says, I love you, Susan.
Yeah, Larissa.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Reed's been on here a bunch talking about the Green Cran campaign. Eric McKee.
Yadira.
great.
Yadira.
Nice. Oh,
Angie
Valdez.
Yeah, Angie will be there.
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Smurs.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy, can I buy a Val Smurs? I'm sure he's heard that. His whole
Jimmy,
life.
you gotta come to the tea.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to come to the tea. Do
Yeah.
the marijuana minute. Or now a mushroom minute. I'm loving watching his mushroom minute updates.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
You got
Find
them on
the
Instagram.
mushroom minute
on
on.
Instagram.
I see it on Facebook too.
Yeah.
So he's keeping everybody apprised about the next big thing in Denver. Michael Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he'll be
the
there.
Artist.
Yeah. He's gonna be there.
So it's outstanding.
Oh,
Let's
good,
tell people again.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's
All
coming.
right.
Gonna
All
be awesome.
right. Great.
He is.
Yeah.
And if you, I think the Radon Area 51's at 3 a.m. So you could get
Okay.
get your alien and take it to Mother's High Tea and make it there in time.
Just dress code. Follow the dress code, please.
Be funny if everybody came dressed as aliens.
Aliens can't come naked.
No. We need dapper aliens.
Dapper.
Yes.
Dress up,
dapper,
wear a
yeah,
suit.
Yeah.
Wear a non-fuzzy hat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A
Not
cool
your
hat.
aluminum foil one.
Somebody will do that. But it is, let's make sure that we tell people again when this is. It is Friday, September 20th,
Mhm.
after we see them aliens,
Mhm.
at the McNichols building
Yeah.
at 144 West Colfax in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Kids' tickets are $15, $35 general admission. How much were the VIPs?
The VIP, 20% off. Did I write that? I'm gonna write it down. It's something. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Okay.
But best friend 10, you'll get 20% off the VIP table
Mm-hmm.
at AXS.com.
AXS.com. Do you believe in Sasquatch?
I go to Seattle Hemp Fest almost every year. Well, it's been going on for almost 30 years, and I've been to about 8 of them. And so Sasquatch culture is very,
Alive there.
very alive there. I mean, that's kind of where Sasquatch is, right? Yeah,
Sasquatch is everywhere, I think.
everywhere. Well, where are
Like the Pacific.
unicorns? Are unicorns everywhere, or is there a particular?
Oh, don't get me started
Yeah.
about unicorns.
And or is Sasquatch land and unicorn land? It's the same overlap, or the same roaming area,
I don't know.
or
I just found out that I have these old Bibles, from great grandparents, that family Bibles before,
Mm-hmm.
say my generation, where I put it in the trunk. I'm like, I'm good. I heard enough. But in those Bibles, they also talk about unicorns.
what?
Yeah, in the Bible.
Huh.
Check it out if you have one
One of the older ones.
or a newer one.
Huh.
There's unicorns in there. I never knew that. I was 46 before I found out that the Bible actually says unicorns.
Wow.
There are several words in there that I'm sure that I've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
But Sasquatch.
Is
Yes.
that in the Bible? No.
I'm
no.
gonna do a scouting trip tomorrow. That's why I won't be here tomorrow morning. So I'm going up to see Chris and Lauren Tradd's hemp farm.
Oh, nice.
Fountain of Health. Check out what they've got going on and see if there's any Sasquatches there,
Mm-hmm.
because we might need to detect them and
Or,
take our
or droppings,
Yeah.
telltale signs.
Yes.
take
Yeah.
our Stash Logics
Oh, cool.
brand case that contains our ghost deeters to let's see. I'll remember to take that tomorrow. But yeah, so we'll see if Dieter can help us find ghosts. But we need to start working on the Halloween special.
Yes, we do.
September 20th is only a month and 11 days before we need to have some kind of Halloween special put together.
Yes.
So hopefully I'll find a
So-
Sasquatch tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Sasquatch
Well, be careful.
droppings.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Be careful. I don't think you can really catch them.
I've never heard of anybody catching one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make a good Halloween special, though.
Yes. And we're committed around it. Last year's was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any extra words of wisdom for us that we haven't even gone in? Usually we ask people what they did before cannabis, and we didn't even go over that with you.
Well, I was a child before I got into cannabis. I moved here to Colorado in '96 to go to see Boulder, and that was sort of the start of my involvement in hemp and legalization. So most of my adult life I've been involved in legalization, hemp food companies, and then when marijuana businesses emerged and started to be regulated, then I switched over and was directing operations at companies, analytical labs, some of the early edible companies. And I switched over to CBD companies and helped with a few startups. And then a couple of years ago, I went back to school and got a paralegal certificate. So now I'm a little more entrenched in the legal side. But what I did before I entered the cannabis space, I was in Girl Scouts. I was in Honor Society in high school. And I was a moody teenager. That's what I was before.
It's awesome.
It was so funny. When I moved out here, I went to work in a place where I had to read her notes on making things. I was working in a hemp bakery, and she had worked previously there, and I developed this relationship through a woman I never met, and her notes and her meticulousness in writing things down. And so it was almost like reading a story, an autobiography, reading your notes through there. So it was super, super cool when I finally got to meet the woman that I had been reading her notes.
Yeah. And I still make a lot of hemp cookies. Like, it's just, I have to. You know, if I haven't made a batch of hemp cookies in a few months, I don't feel quite right.
Right.
I've like scooped thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hemp cookies, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, you taught me without even spending 5 minutes with me how to decanter hemp milk.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really, really interesting in your little notes. And so I was able to take, what you left for me to learn, or whoever, not just me, but whoever, and try some different recipes at home and take that a little bit farther. And that will always be my first memory of you, is how you inspired my hemp curiosity in cooking and how to work with it. So I always remind you how you touched my life like that.
Oh. That's sweet. Well, yeah, hemp food is really important. I mean, everyone should be eating more hemp. Those like shelled hemp seeds are amazing. You just put it on almost anything. It has a really like neutral, kind of sweet little taste. It's a superfood.
It really is. Just
They
don't try
should
to
put
toast them.
Yeah.
Don't try to toast them. Why do they pop?
No, they get rancid tasting and get better.
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 Yeah. But like
Better.
hemp milk, hemp ice cream, shelled hemp seeds.
Yes.
Yeah. Help give yourself a boost, superfood boost. Eat more hemp.
Put it in your
Boiled hemp,
smoothie.
hemp scampi.
Hemp scampi. Granola. Classic.
Well, we're getting short on time.
I told you the hour
all right.
would fly.
All
Go right by.
Cool.
But
Sweet.
thank you very much, Susan Squibb from Mother's High Tea, 7th annual Mother's High Tea,
Yes.
Denver, Colorado, at the McNichols Building at 144 West Colfax. Did I already say September 20th? After we see them aliens, go to Mother's High Tea.
Yep.
And if you go to AXS.com and search for Mother's High Tea, then you can find tickets. And if you use the coupon code
TFriend10
TFriend10
or Best Friend 10
or Best Friend 10, you can save 10 or
20%.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julie, for setting it up.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
I've enjoyed my airship ride.
Nice. Good.
Good deal.
As always, I'm Travis Lippert, reminding you, if you don't get hemp here, get hemp somewhere.
Is that right?